Straight out of a sci-fi movie, we have this, and well, this little guy too. Are these toys, speakers, or the robot overlords descending down on us? Let's do a HiFi in 5 review on the GravaStar Supernova and the Alpha 65. Today we're going to keep it light. These might not be for you, and that's okay. Don't dismiss it just yet. I don't normally review products like this, but GravaStar reached out and I figured why not. They actually had good reviews, and I just had to see what these were actually all about. I could actually see these in a few use cases. First and foremost, these types of devices bridge the gap. They interest the youth for one. These things look straight out of a movie and might be the piece of gear that buds a new interest in audio. Your kid or grandson might want to pair these up with his iPad, for example, over the Bluetooth 5.3 connection, which is actually the newest iteration available, offering SBC and AAC for decoding formats. They may start out watching YouTube, but who knows, in 6 months you might be sharing playlists on a Tidal family plan. Or you're possibly a PC gamer, big into RGB. These will fit right in, and they could be linked into stereo pairs, which does greatly increase their performance. And the third is simply you're an adult who makes adult decisions and buys what they want, and for that person, I have good news. These are not junk. If we take a close look at this creation, we have a zinc alloy body that stands on 3 spider robot legs. The legs fold up for different looks, or possibly if you're gonna hang this. Each speaker does come with a hanger that can be attached to the top. Each foot also has a rubber bumper to keep them planted. They actually have a lot of detail to them and feel mostly like a premium product. The tube is not glass, but it does have a very glass-like appearance. The finish, design, and level of detail on these is alarmingly better than some of the speakers I get in at this price point. Does that mean that it sounds better than traditional speakers? Well, no, and nor did I expect it to, but we'll get to that later. I just keep thinking to myself, is this a toy or is this a speaker? But I think I've settled on it being a novelty item that performs well for what it is. Each speaker puts out 30 watts through a 1/2-inch tweeter coming out the center of the body, as well as a downfiring 3-inch full-range driver. The specs say frequency response is 20 to 20K, but we're just not even going to go there today. I just can't. What I can tell you about this, the sound is actually really on par for portable Bluetooth speakers like this. With a single, I can get pretty loud, and with a pair like this, I can easily fill a room with a very lively sound. The downward firing driver amplifies the lower frequencies, a better transfer of energy, but it can actually get a little overpowering at times. But I also have a feeling the majority of the buyers of the Supernova will appreciate this V-curve. It's a nice kick of bass and generally a fun sound for modern music releases. The battery life is on point as well. It has a 3350 milliamp hour battery that is stated to play for 9 hours at 60% volume. Turn the lighting effects off and you'll get a little more boost there too. Speaking of the lighting, we get a few options. Dynamic light mode, single color mode with 8 different colors options available, and camping light mode. And that's kind of intended to mimic the gentle flickering of a campfire. I think the campfire look might come into play when you're using the hangers with these. It'll give it kind of a futuristic lantern of sorts if you have them ceiling mounted. When I tested these suspended, it does actually clean up the sound a little bit. You lose some of that low-end grunt, but you pick up a little more clean volume in the louder ranges. Charge time on these is 3 hours each. Another interesting charging option, because why not at this point, is the Alpha 65 65-watt GaN technology charger. You get 3 ports, 2 USB-C and 1 USB-A. It has some fun legs like the Supernova speakers, same great level of detail in the product design, and it actually does a great job with my phone. It brought it to a full charge within roughly an hour, so I can't knock the performance of it. For peace of mind, it offers 8 real-time protections, including measures against overvoltage, overcurrent, and short circuits. Consider it your new little desk buddy, I guess. Final thoughts on this one, it's just fun. It's a very imaginative design on both the speakers and the charger. They could really light a spark in someone into sci-fi, gaming, or just cool gadgets. The price is up there, coming in at $179 each, but for the right person, I can see these being worth it. They'll certainly get people's attention, likely asking some questions when they see these in your setup. The sound on these isn't going to beat a traditional 2-channel setup with speakers and a separate amp in most cases, but it's actually surprising the amount of fidelity that these were able to produce at reasonable listening volumes. For the traditional audiophile, just remember where you started. These just might be a great stepping stone to get more people involved in the audio community. If you made it this far, thank you. Please consider liking and subscribing. Lots more content on the way.